How are you?
Good, how are you?
We're here promoting the bicentennial of Lafayette's return to the United States. In 1824, he and his son, George Washington Lafayette, and their retinue come to visit all 24 states that had been established by then.
And you will have events.
And this one is through travel stories. This is Lafayette in Central Virginia. We also have one for Lafayette in Hampton Roads.
John. Next Washington. Yeah, should be a big event sometime.
Thank you.
More World War II-ish Okay.
Big ship now. No, this is from 1959 to 1964, so that's more like a... This is just like the old... I used to watch the show, I don't know how accurate that is. I think he owns Andrew! Yeah, right.
Wasn't there a squadron or a name?
The women did a lot of testing and shuttling,
Yeah.
you know,
Have a good day.
of the
Enjoy.
planes. They didn't fly in combat, but they were
Yeah.
you know.
Morning. Morning. Great. This is an awesome event. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you don't know the answer, we'll make that. There you go. That's the best way, right? Yep. That's what they wear in their plate carriers, which is on the ground. Yeah, but it'll stop a 7.62 round fired from it. Still heavy. Still heavy. He wears two of these, one in the front, one in the back, two smaller ones on the side. Pick that up. That's what carries these. So if you put the body armor on, you've got about 40 pounds already. But then they put ammo, water, radio, first aid kit, everything else. Yep. And then they go for a hike. We used to do stuff like that.
Just a 20-mile hike, right?
Yeah, just a little walk in the park.
That's right.
The county wanted me to go to this leadership development.
Chinese box.
So, you guys see the second birthday of out here.
Foundation and the National World War I Memorial in Washington,
are the American Expeditionary Forces band. And what we represent is the band that was formed at the headquarters of General John Pershing in 1918. Pershing, as it turns out, was very fond of music. He did not like the state of military music at the beginning of the war. And of course, with all the troops that were mustered up for the war effort, there was an increase in military bands. What Pershing decided to do at his headquarters was to reach out to all the regimental bands and get the very best players for his headquarters. That band became known as Pershing's Band, or Pershing's Own. They played all the major ceremonies in Charman to the end of the war. Then, in 1919, they toured the United States as part of all the victory parades. The band then was, a short little pun here, was disbanded. But in 1922, when General Pershing became the Chief of Staff of the Army, he said, we need to get that band back together again. So he issued a one-line order. Can you imagine that? An order of just one line that says, you will form and equip the U.S. Army Band. So on that one sentence, the United States Army Band that's in Washington, D.C., known as Pershing's Own, was formed. And they just celebrated their centennial back in 2022. So the music you're going to hear today is music that was performed in 1918 during World War I. Our first selection, of course, was a very iconic piece written by the famous George M. Cohan, great showman and composer. The next piece we're going to do is another great American composer at the time, Irving Berlin, who hated buglers, by the way, as we all know. Okay. This tune predates the World War I, and it's a great little ragtime tune called Alexander's Ragtime Band. Like fast four. One, swing, yes, swing. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 1. James Reese Europe was an African-American a social orchestra made up of black musicians of the time. When you hear stories about, the first jazz concert at Carnegie Hall was done by Benny Goodman in the 1930s, well, that isn't true. James Reese Europe brought his orchestra to play at Carnegie Hall just in the pre-war years of World War I. So, also, interestingly enough, broke the segregation barrier by working with a famous white dancer known as the Castle. Vernon Castle. These two dancers helped promote socialized dancing, and they were such a big hit. They reached out to James Reese Europe because they liked that type of music and thought their collaboration would work really well. So we're going to play a piece that was written for the Castles, and this is a piece called Castles in New York. It was dedicated to Irene and Vernon Castle, written by James Reese Europe.
Is it French or Russian?
Russian.
Russian?
Yeah, so it's Russian Expeditionary Force in France.
You don't speak Russian, no?
No, немного.
Any reenactors here?
What?
Any Russian reenactors here?
Yeah, there's Tomsk Siberian Rifles. Yeah, World War I.
Oh yeah, I know them. I know.
Yeah.
And you speak Russian? You're not Polish,
Yeah,
no?
немного. Yeah.
Great.
Setup here, all the way to the waterfront.
Rachel, Benson, Hoffman, Creary, over here. You are codes are even more fun. Right there, in August. Another section collapsed on them. So, where's Dave? Let's go. Okay. You were the sergeant for second section. You were the sergeant for first section. Go ahead and fall in with second section. Who's got Daniel's rifle? Grab the wrong rifle. That's that Daniel's rifle. Okay. All right, now let's get for the first section. I want you two front rank, you two behind them, and Steph, you're on the end. We're gonna have a little bit of a gap. And then you guys, let's get these guys in front of these two. No, these two. You're tall, dog. Tall. Okay, so So, second section closes up with the first section. We're going to go through the plan really well. No, we're going to just practice and then we march out through the plan when we're down. Yeah, it's fine. Mr. Herbert, you want to run some drill? Would you like to step out and be the fluid?
Well, good morning, folks. Try that again. Good morning, folks. Good morning. So the men of Crockett's Western Battalion, and hopefully the rest of the battalion arrives at some point in the next 2 to 3 weeks, are beginning to train and get ready for our demonstration, which will happen at 11 o'clock down on the drill field. The unit that we're representing, Crockett's Western Battalion, is a state force that was raised during the Revolutionary War to defend the western parts of Virginia. So these men are not beholden to Congress, they are not beholden to General Washington, who's the commander-in-chief. They're just beholden to their colonel, Joseph Crockett, who in turn is beholden to Virginia's government and the Virginia Assembly. So these guys, who are rifle-armed troops, which is kind of weird for the Revolutionary War by this point, are really just going to guard Virginia. That's their whole job. The manual that they're going to be in right now before they get ready to march off is von Steuben's manual, which was built for the American forces in Valley Forge. But we'll be talking more about that when we get to our demonstration at 11. Right now, we're just trying to instill military.
Howdy! To the left! Heights! 1, 2. To the right about! Heights!
Reminder, guys.
Howdy! 2. To the right about! Heights! Right. Advance your fire line! 1. Up front. Right. And yourself. Roll to your fire line. Up front.
We will use all the open order steps.
When you drill your fire line, make sure that your muzzle stays higher up than you normally would in the manual, simply because there's a lot of movement.
And you've got somebody right in front of you.
Drill your fire line. Roll to your fire line.
You guys at some point are going to get to take your camera by files. So take care to advance by files to the right. It's take care to advance by files to the right. And then you can follow right. That is how you go. You got it.
The Greeks are down there. Oh, so maybe we start there. That helps. Thank you. That's all we need. Okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. like expand those holes out to some festivals. I remember you from last year.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir. Just
Thank
roaming
you.
into our camp, I see.
All the same people or some new? New reenactors?
Little column A, little column B.
I saw someone at Renaissance Fair last year. Someone was there.
Probably us.
Three probably. Three of you, or two or three.
Is it the Pennsylvania Ren Fair or the Maryland one?
No, here, Maryland.
Oh, Maryland?
Within the Roman Empire, you don't have
Maybe, yeah, probably. I was there with my my mentor for a year.
All of the propaganda statues described.
I'd love to spend a year at the Ren Fair. That'd be awesome.
Another per spear instead of like 4 or 5 times. But they were just as good. They were just paid less and had less status.
Probably only lasted a battle, maybe 2.
And next event, you're taking part, what, Fort Loudon or?
Yeah, we're going to be at Fort Loudon next. And what was the one in June?
Somewhere in New Jersey.
Yeah, there's a timeline in New Jersey. We'll be there as well.
Fort Mott, right?
I think so.
Fort Mott.
One of them.
No, probably not. They were probably about.
They already have something today, Fort Mott. First World War.
There's an army that marched.
I don't know what's going on in Fort Mott because I know a couple of my friends are there.
Legate. You know what a legate is?
But no, the event in June. Is it something like?
A legate would be the general.
It's like some
right? The legate gets up there, and he decides that his legionaries is going to give him a break. So he gets them up in battle order on top of the hill, and then sends the auxiliaries down to fight the battle. And the auxiliaries won the whole battle by themselves.
Is it very heavy? It's not supposed to be very heavy, huh?
No,
10 pounds. 10 pounds.
It's not heavy at all.
He was actually. He sent them forward.
Which way?
Yep, there you go. Like a suitcase.
10, 12 pounds.
Yeah, but without a belt or some suspension system, probably difficult to handle.
Yeah,
long time.
Yeah, there was
Interesting.
some famous archers recruited from Syria.
They make them just strong enough to last a battle, light enough to carry across the continent.
He also had Balearic slingers. There's some other ones, and the Germans were known for their cavalry.
I'm watching some Russian reenactors online, so they tell much about this.
The reenactors out of Russia that do Roman they're incredible.
So
there's a gentleman out of Moscow that I do business with for Byzantine gear. So they do some incredible work over there.
I have one additional question.
What is it?
Yeah, I know some.
What the low never conquered Colossia? Because I that they had and that they had.
But Russians, at least a while ago, Russians said that the best reenactors are in Poland.
As you probably know, right?
Because Polish reenactors they encompass more.
You're talking about probably 21st Legion Repax, yeah?
There's a Roman
maybe all other time frames.
Yeah.
Especially this wing stuff.
Oh yeah, you're talking stuff like this. I was surprised to learn
medieval stuff.
Yeah.
The parts of
I was surprised to learn that American Civil War has a presence in Europe.
Adrian built a wall.
Like there are people in Europe that do American Civil War.
Yeah, keep those Scots out.
There are reenactors in Russia. Civil War. Civil War is popular. And they study this.
To stop armies from
Some of them think it will.
Stop trade wagons.
Next one is coming.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, Or if it must come to it, hopefully it's just angry comments on the internet.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Or something else.
I was reading, at least popular articles about this medal. It says that research shows that this medal was far more advanced than anything later. It was like late 1800s.
So there's some examples of that. So like Scipio Africanus, when they first started transitioning from the Greek style blades over to the first like gladios type blades, they could bend them over their heads and they'd spring back into shape. Now the thing is that nobody seems to want to talk about that, but that sounds like spring steel, yeah. And it's just like there's a narrative that spring steel was never invented ever until
they used to have a curved top and a big
the industrial era, the Renaissance. But how did they find blades that could spring back into shape?
From the top to the bottom
in 200 BC.
As time went on, They changed
How
the
did that
design,
happen?
but they kept some of the paint.
Yeah, but
We don't know.
Metal production requires at least some kind of science. You need to know what you're doing. Plus science, engineering, technology, and that research shows that at least there were factories with 500 and more, several hundreds workers.
Yep. The level of industrial output done by the Romans wouldn't be matched again until like London in the 1800s.
Yeah, 1800s. So this is 1/16 of inch approximately, right?
It's about a millimeter. So a little under a 16th of an inch. Just like I think
30 seconds,
something like that. Yeah.
I prefer the scale.
It's 18 gauge.
Everyone likes
Oh, 18 gauge.
the plate armor. Why do you like the scale?
Oh, thank you. So you're going to show some.
Here, hang on 1 second. You want to know the quickest way to stop liking scale armor? Own a piece of scale armor. The maintenance
The Romans just
of
stole
scale
it, as they did with most of
Share a amusing story. Several decades ago, we visited a dish like this. It was the 20th Legion we met with, and they had the pila, and we asked for a demonstration of how it worked, how far it could throw. The gentleman picked it up, threw it, and then immediately commented about twice that far. We're always endeared
We're doing a
to.
peel and throw later today, but we get them at like 30, 40 feet. They could throw about 100.
You said about 100?
we're staying busy with all that stuff. But very, very excited.
You're scared.
The only thing is
Wonderful.
it'll be great. We look forward to it. See a full emperor.
Yeah, hello. I'm going to use your artillery piece, like an artillery piece in my period.
What is it? It's
Oh, that's great. You want to make a video?
Yeah, that would be good.
Are you ready?
Well, good morning. I have transformed myself back to ancient Rome. And as most of you know, I, l'Empereur Napoleon Bonaparte, am first and foremost an artillerist. It is with artillery that war is made. But traveling back to the ancient world, we have encountered this device. It is a ballista, is it not?
It's actually a catapulta.
It is a catapulta, very similar to a ballista, but smaller in size. But this would have been used in the same way that I will use my 12-pounders upon the battlefield. But instead of a cannonball, it will fire a bolt and do a great mischief to the enemy that encounters it. Artillery through the ages.
Great.
Thanks for that. Subtle. Yes, of course. Yes.
Great, got it.
That's great.
yeah, in green color it was French artillery at the time. Late 1700s.
Yes, so for Bonaparte, from 1769 to 1815, he lived, forgive me, 1769 to 1821, but for his entire military career, he was always not only just a great general, but first and foremost an artillerist. And that is where he received his training at the École Militaire in Paris to be an artillery officer.
French is your native tongue, right?
It is, si vous voulez, je parle français aussi, monsieur.
Je ne parle pas français.
Un petit peu, voilà. Bonne journée, monsieur.
I was just telling Sage how wonderful it is to finally see you in your final imperial
in my
form.
contenu, one of my countrymen there. Or you Spanish Civil War.
This is a Russian Expeditionary Force.
Oh, but you adopt the Adrian helmet.
Yeah, but the whole imperial army they use French helmets.
The canteen as well.
Looking good.
This is the 1st century AD, and all this equipment pretty standard from the 1st century AD up until the start of like the second part of the 2nd century. So you're very welcome.
Cooking surface on a stove around the fire. And then again, like you mentioned, the opsom, the relishes, that's what you're essentially dipping this in to give it some flavor. That's where your sort of delicacy is coming in.
This is a big thing. That kind of looks like lentils.
Yep, dried lentils, easy to transport. very easy to cook up, right? And again, we're trying to portray people who are on campaign, if you will. So some of these foods are indicative of something that's easy to transport.
Yeah.
Right, like nuts, dried products, like and fruit that will travel well.
Yeah.
Right. Various fresh herbs that they had. They would have been cooking with thyme, rosemary, parsley, and dill. Just
Would they have had? I guess is pomegranates some drinks then?
no, they had some pomegranates, but they're also importing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the food?
Just watch the shield there, miss.
Okay. All right. Careful of the shield, baby.
That steak's probably not secure in the ground.
So you said there was like a fig jam.
Right.
And then
that's
quince.
Yep.
What is this?
Olive, crushed olives.
Kind of like
and
what you put on
artichoke.
like a muffaletta kind of thing.
And this is called itrion.
Okay.
Very popular breakfast treat. It's just honey that's been boiled, sesame seeds added to it.
Oh wow! Kind of like a nature's first granola bar.
Want to try some?
Sure.
Would you like to try some? No?
Want to try a bit, Lisa? I'll try some.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's probably the sweetest thing that we have here. It's quite good.
Oh wow.
All of the sesame seeds have been toasted in advance too, so that also gives it some flavor. With the maza, one of the tricks to making this a little bit more delicable is that you toast the flour first.
Okay.
And once you get this nice sort of nutty aroma, so it's just goldened a bit, then you remove that from the heat, add water, make your dough with a little olive oil, and you're good to go. You just press that and then bake it.
Oh, thank you so much for answering the questions. I see over here, are these like the spices y'all would have had, like, looks like bay leaves? Like in that.
Yeah, those are laurel leaves, which is the same thing.
Okay.
That's an offering, just like the incense here to the gods. Interestingly, the smoke from laurel leaves is psychoactive, hallucinogenic.
Okay.
So the Pythian oracles at Delphi would have these giant cauldrons around them, which you'd be putting incense in, but you would also be burning the laurel
So
leaves.
it wasn't something to put into a dish, it was more to the fire of the
This is
gods.
specifically not for cooking.
Okay.
You could cook it, but this is used in more as a way for divine communion with the gods.
Okay.
Everything is about trying to reach essentially an altered state of consciousness.
Okay.
This is more anathema to us today because we think that everything needs to be cerebral and literal and reductive and empirical, right?
Yeah.
Science rules the day.
Facts. Yeah.
But they were very open to embracing alternative states of consciousness.
Yeah.
And to going into trance states, ecstatic trance states. It's about removing yourself from yourself so that you enlarge in your body. Embodiment becomes more than just I, me, and my body. It becomes something larger, some conjunction with a greater force.
Would this have been around the time of like the golden age of Greece where you get a lot of the philosophers?
Sure, yeah. I mean, especially us here, we're trying to portray like the classical era Greece, which we're calling the 6th to 4th century. And yeah, I mean, Parmenides and Pythagoras and Plato and Socrates, all those guys are alive. And so this is here, this is myrrh.
Okay. Oh wow.
This comes from the sap of the myrrh tree.
Yeah.
So it's a resin, and that can be burnt.
Was that mostly used for some kind of balm?
Well, it's mainly used for offerings, but they could also pulverize it and put it in as a additive into drinks.
Okay.
To make it taste more flavorful. This is frankincense. So you can sort of see a lot of the same. And this is pronounced and sort of evolving it. Gotcha. Yeah. It's not quite medieval. Yes. Yeah, definitely based on.
Morning, how are you? I hope it was not so cold as last year, no?
Yeah, no, this is great. Weather doesn't get better for us.
Not as in Fort Mott, not...
Yeah, no, this is
Like the helmets a lot.
great. It's going to be up in like the 60s, I think.
When you wear the different types of helmets.
Yeah, second night last year was cold. It's like 6 Celsius, was like 40 something.
Wow. Okay, yeah, one here last year.
Everything else was optional. Maybe even clothes were
And they even didn't perform anything. There was no show Oh,
But if you have those,
they're trying to
Try to keep warm.
keep warm, cover
helmets,
themselves.
the era we're portraying, if you look at the sign, we're covering
And there is a question.
years of time, so they're different.
Maybe history skips something. Maybe there was warm close enough. No, mountains are cold. Even in Greece in summertime.
Yeah.
And there is a snow somewhere. Whatever. Parnas Mountain.
Right.
Olympus.
One was a very popular type.
Yeah.
Basically,
And
once armies got
vineyards, so they were everywhere in mountains.
instead of fighting for
Yeah.
Winter is cold.
fighting for months. And this is not a comfortable
Oh yeah. There were no wars in winter time. Summer only.
Well, if you did, you probably were miserable.
You need something more like a modern helmet, something that captures
More so than you normally would be.
Yeah. But if barbarians from north come, they are very fit. Would be very fit for winter time. In later centuries.
Yeah. I guess from like Thrace, upper.
Yeah, northern Europe.
Yep. Yeah. Probably been better suited for that. Yeah.
Are you going to show something?
I don't know when. I think there might be, but I don't know when.
An artillery demonstration is supposed to be here or some other place?
Don't know about that.
This is demonstration field. It's called. They call no.
Yeah. So if it happens, it probably will be here. But don't hold me to that. I'm not running the event. Take care.
He's wearing a white belt version. Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So next event will be in Fort Loudoun, right?
Fort Loudoun, and then we have Plataea in Greece.
Ah, you're going to Plataea?
Yes, so it's we had one back in 2021, then 2022, and then 2024 this summer.
Oh yeah, Plataea is 479.
479 BC, yeah.
So it means 5,000.
It would be 2,500.
I mean 2,505, right?
Yes, something like that.
Plataea, you're going. Oh, interesting.
So that was the final sort of end of the Persian expansion into Greece, yeah.
An event in Plataea. What is summertime? What time?
It's end of June.
End of June.
End of June, and the first sort of the first week of August is when it ends.
How many reenactors usually are there
Last
from
year we
Europe?
had around 80. This year there's still people coming in, so I'm not sure. I'm not one of the organisers of the event, but we should have. I know lots of us here are going. There's a English group that goes, Spanish group that goes, French group that goes, some Greeks. So there's a large array. It's a truly international event. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I see you later. Oh.
Getting parched.
Well, yeah. Like all this stuff would have originally been commissioned by an artisan. You didn't go to this place, so it's actually gone to farmers.
Good morning. Was it cold here as last year, no? Warmer?
Hey, I recognize you. How you doing,
Yeah.
man?
Good. So you are going to Greece again, right? This summer?
Yes, it's July.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
Got that?
Tripod went down.
Goodness, that was just the sparring worries.
Beeswax.
get to muster way more than to fight. Maybe supposed to kill them. So if it's town of land, there was a state-issued shield given to poor guys who couldn't afford their own. That was like, this is your electronic this is where this was here.
Because you would have to carry that on a 20-mile march. So every year.
It's going to start to get heavy after a while.
So yeah, it will get heavy after a while. Yeah,
There's first century from about 50 to 70. AD, CE, whatever.
So the conquest of Sicily, it was basically kind of it was a game of politics. It was a game of divide and conquer. Kings and Generals has a really good kind of breakdown of it. There wasn't really much to it. You know, it was more of just, the kings of Sicily, they wanted to keep their power. The Romans wanted Sicily for land and resources. So that was really what it boils down to at the end of the day. Most territorial expansion, if not all of it, is almost entirely, controlling trade and controlling access to resources, with the rest being secondary at best and just smokescreen at worst. So, and if you look at the patterns throughout history, it's almost always around securing resources.
That's perfect. Yeah. So as the horses are in the story, his name is
I've heard of him. I don't watch him regularly.
He explained that, like, I don't know if it's Carthage. Is it Carthage? Sicily?
There was a Carthaginian ship that got beached in Italy. The Romans took it, reverse engineered it, and proceeded to wipe the floor with the Carthaginians pretty much every time after that.
Yeah, they had like an invention, like a hook, like they would hook it.
It's called the corvus. Corvus. That's how you say that. Corvus in English. Basically, it was gangplank. So like it would create kind of a mock bridge, and then what was a sea battle would then turn into a land battle. So you could, drop the corvus down, take your guys across to their side. You're equipped to fight on land. They're not. Clear their ship out. You got a new ship.
Instead it could beat someone.
Wouldn't it damage the ship like
this right here?
Yeah, they can repair that though. Yeah, a hole up at the surface is not going to cause it to sink,
You can't goof up too much. Keep it down.
Sure.
Feather crest going front to back.
Exist. So, basically what would happen is you would have the guy in front, he would turn around and go back,
Also proves that
and then turn around, and the next one would step up. So, there's thinking that like in ancient medieval battles, you would have like you would have
you guys have a great day.
I don't know why I'm losing the words right now. Ancient medieval battles, you would have like 5-minute gap periods where they would reorganize their lines. And then, so the thinking was, that's a human condition thing, likely happened in the Roman era too. So if there was any kind of rank rotation, it would have likely happened then. They would have been spun from a single sheet of metal.
Figure out what animals some of those are from.
They're dressed up like soldiers in a war.
I think those are kind of small for buffalo. Do you want to go and touch them? Well, don't touch it with food on your hand, okay?
I'm getting closer to being done. Right.
What time is it?
It's very pretty.
And a little while after this time, there was a short-lived piece for a couple of years, but yeah, within a few years. So that's what we're cooking. You can actually, if you go over here, that table on the right has all the ingredients that are in the stews. You can watch my campmate use cooking as well. You can pick things up, you can touch them, you can cook these things. Yes, I was going to say, you guys are serious.
Oh yeah. That's what I said. I was like, it's the place to hang out right here.
Have you ever had wild boar?
Well, look.
Forget height.
Yeah, it's funny because the Viking Age, the way it ended was because two things, they became Christian and they became civilized. And they basically kind of melded into, a lot of them settled in England, Scotland, Ireland, France, because there was a lot better farming, a lot better, in Scandinavia. Scandinavia was really harsh living. So yeah, a lot of them kind of melded. That's why if you've got like English, Scottish, or Irish ancestry, you've got Viking ancestry. Because they basically intermarried and they just kind of
So with that, when you say each one, they became Christian, became civilized.
They go to the Royal Navy. It is invested in
Back to the homeland.
a lot of times what they did is what they got down
That's a real chain motion.
Is that 25 pounds of steel? Third row. So you're about to. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, but here, come here.
I think they asked me if we
Feel like you know how to play it now? You can take those with you, and if you'd like a bead, you can select a bead.
Alright.
Okay, so you can play wherever you go. You take those with you.
Okay, thank you. Did you want to learn how to play the dice game?
Well, the bucket spot would be more like...
Barb would really like it. Yeah, what does this feel like?
Would you like to learn a dice game?
He does, yes.
Very good. Now, of course, the Norse were fond of games. They had board games, they had dice games. These are the kind of dice games made of bone or ivory. So you can get different style of dice from modern dice. I'm going to teach you with modern dice. This is a game called Ship, Captain, Crew. 6 is the ship, 5 is the captain, 4 is the crew. This is your cargo you can point. So you get 3 rolls. You have to get the ship first, the captain, and then the crew.
I take the time to spin slightly red.
You'll see it, 6 of all.
The sheep is for choosing to shoot. You have to get it out.
No practice.
Everything else I do is usually at high status.
Well, I'm a successful warrior, so I'm more welcome.
Right, yeah.
Ah, that's. Oh, you're looking at my cup.
Okay, that works.
It says Sroda, which is a Polish princess that took out all her frustrations. Huh?
Polish. You're Polish too?
Huh?
You're Polish too?
I'm not Polish, but I have a lot of my friends are Polish.
Interesting. There are Polish reenactors who reenact Vikings here.
There's quite a bit actually. You have Slavic invasion, but we disassociate with them. So, but I'm with a group called Strada, and most of its members are Polish. Our Jarl is Polish. And yeah, good people, man. That's one hell of a language to try and figure out, though.
Russian reenactors are always saying that reenactments are much better in Poland.
Yeah.
Bigger scape.
Oh yeah, Poland.
Different time periods, especially medieval times. They have reenactments, games, all this 1410 battle, different castles in Poland. Thanks.
Yeah, we heard it. Seems like it.
And this is one of their games. My daughter.
I look straight out of we watch the entire Viking series like everybody else does. Even though it's somewhat fictitious, you look just like one of them, so you're doing the right thing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of fun, and I'm enough of a history nerd that I enjoy just doing all the research and everything else that comes along with an accurate portrayal for that period.
Happy kids and adults here today.
That too, yeah.
Thank you.
This is a great
if they would take equipment off of
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, sorry. You always show this techniques. You always demonstrate techniques with spear.
Oh, sure. Yeah. With the spear, I can.
I mean, yeah, I saw last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I can poke with it. I can also swing with it. I can go and I can try to cut your hamstring or your calf, something to get you out of the fight, so you're not trying to kill me. I can also take this and shorten it up, so I can hit you. I can whack you on the head, or I can take this, and if you're not wearing armor, I can try to open you up across the torso. And if you are wearing armor, I can come in close, and then I can take this and jab it down onto your armor, and it's going. The point on the spear is going to split the rings in your armor, and then it's going to penetrate. And with all my weight behind it, it's going to penetrate pretty deep into you.
Yeah, this is infantry light spear, right?
Yeah, this would be like infantry light spear. This would be typical of what anybody in this period would have been using.
Greek spears probably the same, maybe longer. No?
Their spears were longer than the spears that we're using because they would have spears that would be as much as 6 meters. Sometimes our spears, the longest ones would be about 2.5 meters. Mine's about 2 because that's a length that I find really comfortable and easy to be using. But everybody fights with a spear. The king's got a spear. The lowest peasant has got a spear. Everybody uses one.
Russian reenactors in Russia, they show technique. 2 guys. First one with axe or something. First one is supposed to move shield away for a fraction of second. Second one is supposed to hit with spear right away.
Can you grab your there? Yeah, he takes that and he pulls this.
Yeah.
He pulls that out of the way, and then we work as a team. If we work as a team, we live. If we try to fight by ourselves, we die. It's very simple.
It's one of those things that pretty much doesn't change much throughout the history when it comes to military.
It's at the small unit level. It's still men working together as teams. We're much more effective working together with each other than we are trying to fight by ourselves. The only person who fights by themselves is the guy carrying the Dane axe, which is about this high, and when he starts swinging that, nobody wants to get anywhere near him.
There is a larger event in Russia, Viking. They have up to 1,500 reenactors, several thousand visitors every
you see
summer.
this a lot in Russia, Ukraine, and Eastern Europe. Also, all three
Poland.
places use Poland a lot.
Another one, large one in Poland, maybe bigger in Poland, northern Poland somewhere.
It's the largest in the world.
Yeah, I saw some reenactors in Fort Lauderdale, Polish reenactors. They came from Poland last September.
Yeah, it's very popular over there. They definitely go out there and they're hitting each other a lot harder. I used to do a lot of the live steel, and I would not want to be out there in the field fighting with them.
No, plus they produce all kind of everything, especially jewelry, mimicking replicas of something real, archaeological discoveries. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you later. So this is not Viking already, no? It's not Viking already.
No.
A later time period. Right?
Yep, 1200s, 1215. We're in England.
Very similar somehow.
I'm a peasant soldier, so I don't have the full knightly armor, but actually our knight is suiting up right now. If you want to go check that out, we have some sergeants in armor. I'm just a peasant soldier.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
See you later.
Just laughing and
This dagger to show you.
Mr. Inconceivable.
Oh, those sides.
Sacks of salts. It's just so simple. But it's so cool.
Yeah, what do you do?
Like actually a base, and you add boiling water to it. So this is cool. So the lid, dry oatmeal and egg to it, and when you put boiling water into it, it cooks it. So that's currently what I'm doing.
How's the
Things always interplay interestingly, and some things don't work the way they're supposed to.
You guessing that?
I was just setting my oculars just enough off. That's better. Now I can actually see. So this is a very, very early form of a fully enclosed helmet. And one of the things that's kind of unique about the very early forms is how many gaps there actually are. So if you were to look at an enclosed helmet, say from LaBelle Company's time, our neighbors next door, there's going to be much less, especially one for using on horseback, there's going to be much less openings that are going to allow points or weapons to come through. The advantage of having all these openings is that it makes it much easier for me to see, breathe, and talk. So I actually have peripheral vision out to here because the eye slits go all the way to the side. I can see my hands and I can see
where my vertical brains are because I can look through the breath. They're not just for breathing, they allow you to see through them as well. But I can see the ground on my feet.
The nobles got together and so stuff. But this is
well, there's something to it changes the human shape enough that it makes it very intimidating. And they knew that. Like, that's not a new this is up to date, the most up to date armor.
So this is the weapon that I carry. So if you're a bad guy on the other side, I'm your bad guy. Well, this, but that's somebody who automatically gets scared.
This is seen in, we don't have any surviving examples of this.
Okay.
So this is fairly speculative. This is seen in a few illustrations from manuscripts from the 12th and 13th centuries. This one in particular, I believe, is based off one from the middle of the 13th century. So, yeah, I believe this one in particular you usually see in a cavalry context, so on horseback. This is not a nice, you know, sword that you wear out on the town like a gentleman. This is not a gentleman's weapon. This is it's very front heavy. This is sometimes referred to as a type of falchion. Now, there are lots of types of falchions.
I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put this back because I'm not going to use this.
So, this is purely for cracking open skulls. This is very. This would be pretty sharp. They would have sharpened all of these. There aren't no dull swords in the Middle Ages. That's kind of a myth, is that they were big and dull. That's not the point of a sword. Yeah.
Is it European or Oriental?
This is seen in a this one is based off a manuscript from France from 1250. Yeah. It's called.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is. It's supposed to do some work, probably.
Yeah, this is
designed for something.
This is possibly adapted from a farming tool. So when they, I think it's fairly, intuitive. This point on the end, maybe you want to turn it around and use it more like a mace as opposed to a chopping weapon. Yeah. So it's got a.
But if you stop some.
You can't really
design for stabbing, maybe some kind of specific armor, or gap between armor plates or something.
So I have a bit more context for this thing in particular. In that, out of all the weapons here, this one's a bit of the odd man out for not really being a weapon. This is a farmer's tool that gets pressed into service as a weapon. This is like a brush clearing machete. And these swoops had some purpose in the time for farm duty. And the idea, and I've found evidence for this in some manuscripts as well as from later periods, they still, in Italy, were using something that was exactly this by the 16th century. And the whole thing with this hook was, you hang it on a hook in your shed. That's what that hook is for. Is for hanging it up in your shed while you're not using it. Because it's a farm tool. You need to clear some brush, you grab this, you go whack at the brush. Oh, the king now needs me to go to war. I don't have a sword, but yeah, this will work. So the Italian thing is called a baidana, B-A-I-D-A-N-A. It's from the 16th century, but if you look at it, it is this. There's no difference. And as far as I can tell, I'm the first person to actually make a connection between these things and that farm tool. Because these things aren't mentioned anywhere, as far as I'm aware.
That's all it takes.
Interesting.
So, it's a bit of conjecture, but it's the only reason I can think of that farm tool looks so much like this.
No, it's very useful during construction of kind of defenses, fences, trenches.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be
You can use as a shovel as a modern machete.
Yeah,
for digging.
If you're going to have to build a palisade, you're going to be chopping down small diameter trees with it. It can do that really well. I've used brush axes and machetes at home to clear brush, and I wouldn't mind having one of these for that task either.
New Russian machete, surviving tool for Air Force, kind of has similar shape, only shorter.
So
it's designed for digging.
So this is the kind of thing that just crops up as a useful tool that's also, by just the nature of what it's designed to do, also happens to be a really good weapon. So when you see these in the manuscripts, they're almost always in the hands of lower class soldiers. They're not wearing full, they're not dressed like him, they're dressed like the guy out front with the spear.
So you take a sling.
You know, or maybe a gambazon, like that guy over there with
really increase the distance.
And then they'll have this instead of a sword.
Oh, thank you. Do you know where the artillery demonstration is supposed to be?
No,
over
I'm sorry.
there.
I've been here all day, so.
Thank you.
Yes.
Like that, you see how the tip comes off right there? And so it gives you like a whipping motion, and so it increases the energy.
No, Becca just saw and really had any good work. Yeah. Yes. How are you?
Good. So welcome to the company of Little Dunmow. Little Dunmow is a village in southeastern England during the Middle Ages, and we have been activated in our rebellion against King John the Tyrant. So think of Robin Hood, Magna Carta, that's the time period we're at. So a unique thing of our group here is our and head protection, helmet, full equipment. He needs to be the most effective person on the battle.
It's like the nose.
You said that was about 90 pounds? Real nice, yeah.
Miss Ashley said that the
About 90 pounds? It is, yeah.
Gentlemen, you lost, probably lost. Sorry.
So this is all steel right here.